There is a house in New Orleans, baby, and it's called the Rising Sun. You know, it's been the ruin many a poor girl. Oh Lord, Lord, I know I'm one. My mother was a tailor. She sewed my new blue jeans. You know, my father was just a gambling man, way down in New Orleans. And the only thing a gambler needs is a suitcase and a trunk. And the only time he'll be satisfied, oh, is when he's on that drum. And the other is on that train. You know, I'm going back to New Orleans, baby. I gotta wear that ball and chain. So mother, tell your children.
All right, how is everybody doing? I hope you had a great start of the week. If you can hear me, please type yes on the chat. I think you can. All right, how? Yeah, yeah, I think you can. So, how's everybody doing? How are you guys? Yeah, today we're going to talk about the Japanese yen and a little bit about cryptos. Still undecided about thank you, Koketsu. Thank you. So, still undecided about this Japanese yen. Awesome, Brad. Thank you. Hi, Sufla. How are you? But I'm gonna show you what I'm looking at, right? And um, awesome, Donny Leonardo. Karim, bonjour, ça va? Moi, je parle français aussi. Tu peux poser les questions en français si tu veux, mais je vais répondre en anglais. Yeah, so if anybody here um doesn't speak English or is more comfortable asking questions in French or Spanish, you're more than welcome to do so. I speak both languages fluently, and but I will respond on in English. So let's have a look at this Japanese yen now. Right, so this is the Japanese yen basket. Hello, Azan, how are you? This is the Japanese yen basket, FXCM's Japanese yen basket, pretty much very similar at the DXY for the USD. Right, this gives us a gauge on how the Japanese yen is moving. Right, we could look at 6J or Japanese yen futures, but um, I prefer looking at the Japanese yen basket. I'm fine, Asan. Thank you. Thank you for asking. So let's have a look at the forward chart, and this is what I'm looking at. Right? It has been a pretty choppy end of January, right? After this rally that broke with the previous lows, right? I'm talking about this. We have seen the Japanese yen just pulling back towards the same level where buyers are jumping in. I'm talking about January lows, this level right here. This is where buyers are jumping in, right? So, actually, I'm going to go higher, maybe to the 8 hour chart. And the reason that I go to the 8 hour chart, guys, just to get rid of the noise and I'm sorry, and so you, I'm sorry, and so you can get the full picture of what I'm looking at, right? So, after the Japanese yen bottom here, this Japanese yen basket, of course, in bottom here. This yellow dotted line is January lows, right? This is this week's lows, and this is January highs. So, the entire move on January from low to highs, we're talking about a 3.3% rally on the Japanese yen. That is a big move. And more importantly, the Japanese yen broke with this previous key level. Now, the Japanese yen is pulling back in what seems to be a bullish flag towards that same level, right? We've had a couple of fake outs, but buyers are very strong. Now, having said that, now I go to the higher time frames just to um, just to get a bias, right? My bias is bullish on the Japanese yen. So blessings, Muhammad. Bro, a little paid for your signals, and 6 days later, I've had no access to the point where report isn't replying my emails. Mate, you have to log in your client account on our website, and you will find the link to the VIP group there. It's as simple as that. So my bias is bullish on the Japanese yen, right? That's the 8 hour chart. Now, on the hourly chart, I am looking for entries. Now, the reason that I am undecided on what to do here is because of this level, right? Um, and hear me out. Buying here, to me, would be advice in the sense that longs, without confirmation here, don't have an edge, right? So, in my opinion, the level that needs to break is this one right here. And this is why I'm a little bit undecided because of the risk to reward ratio that this breakout would yield. So, Of course, I am not going to be trading the Japanese yen basket. I'm gonna go look for Japanese yen longs in the markets that I trade, right? Maybe shorts on the US dollar Japanese yen, but that seems to be um, gone. Shorts on the CAD yen, shorts on the Euro yen or the Aussie yen, etc. The market that I'm looking at is the pound yen. Right. So, listen, the blessings. I don't know. This is not a support chart. Um, I'm going to escalate this your inquiry. But that's it. I can't respond to any more questions about that. So, the market that I'm looking at for longs on the Japanese yen is the pound yen. And last week I took a short on the pound yen and I got stopped out um, on this exact move. I'm gonna show you. I went long on the Japanese yen by shorting the pound yen on this kind of a breakout, and I got stopped out when price reversed. And that's why I'm telling you that longs or going long here on the Japanese yen has no edge. So, what to do? Right. I'm looking at the pound yen because of this flag formation. This is a very, very nice flag formation of the pound yen. Let's go to the 4-hour chart in this market. This is a clear retest of the previous lows. This was my trade here, and I got stopped out on this move to the upside on a Japanese yen dip, right? So, what to do here? Let's have a look, right? This is clearly a bearish flag. So, my idea here would be to go short below the weekly pivot and below this level right here. Now, that would mean that if the pound yen, right, breaks with the weekly pivot and my validation level, the Japanese yen would break with this high, right? So this is the trade idea that I have for today. It's quite cooking at the moment in the sense that it's not ready yet. And if we go to the 2-hour chart, right? Let's go to the 2-hour chart just to get rid of the noise, right? Now, um, putting my sell stops here below the previous lows would be also a no edge trade because that would mean that if I get triggered short on the pound yen, right, that would mean that basically what I would be doing is just trading the break of this high on the Japanese yen. And that, my friends, is still inside of this no trade range. That's why I'm looking at lower entries on the pound yen, right below the weekly pivot and these lows. Now, let's have a look at the risk to reward on this possible trade. Take a look at Euro GBP. No, no worries, Blessing, no worries. Uh, um, I will escalate that issue. So, take a look at the Euro GBP. Why don't you tell me what you're looking at, and then we can have a conversation, right? And I don't know if you're new here, Hamza, but I mean, I'm not your personal technical analyst. So if you just type a currency pair on the chat, I am not going to listen to you. What I'm looking here on these sessions is for you to tell me what you're looking at so we can have a conversation and, make this two-way instead of just me looking at charts. So this is what I'm looking at, right? And let's have a look at the possible risk to reward ratio on this. If I take a short here, right, I would put my stops above the highs, and my targets would be at the 161.8. All the flag. Let's have a look at this. Let me grab my crosshair tool. Yeah, around those lows. So basically, looking at a possible one to a 1.9 R on this trade that I will be placing in a few moments. Right? What do you think about this? What do you think about this? So this is basically the only, I didn't flag it, the only uh, the only setup that I'm looking at for today, right? Um, if we're talking about the US dollar, the US dollar after breaking with the flag is just crashing. I mean, Euro GBP looking at a buy from, I don't know. I don't do that, mate. I don't do that. I mean, tell me what you're trying to. Are you trying to trade the euro? Are you trying to trade the pound? Um, you know, just you know, telling me your possible entry level. Um, I don't do that. I don't do that. So, the US dollar, right? I mean, if you have been here for quite a while, you know that I am a US dollar trader. And right now I have no positions on the USD, right? After the break, this is a daily chart on the DXY, right? After the break of this flag, we saw a well price dip for about more than 1%. Now, to me, to me, this is still a buy market in the sense that I'm looking for buys in the US dollar. Now, well, let's have a look at some levels here on the higher time frames, the forward chart, etc. What I don't like about this, right? I'm gonna tell you what I don't like about where the US dollar is trading at the moment. What I don't like about this is the fake out of December highs and November highs, right? This was a massive, massive level, right? On the daily chart, you can see it pretty. I mean, these are the same highs right here, and price after breaking with the flag, basically just faked out of those highs. Now, um, this is what I don't like about um, where the USD is trading at the moment. Also, also, the level that I'm sorry, the level that the USD is retesting at the moment, yeah, I mean it can be a key level in the sense that this is where sellers jumped in, um, or this is where sellers were positioned, keeping or capping the upside on the USD. If you remember, in December, we traded the upside here on the US dollar from the bottom of the range. And no, I don't think I traded the downside, but I did trade the upside right here at the retest of the previous lows or the bottom of the range that price was trading in for about 9 weeks, right? And I had to take profits here at this level. Now, having said that, um, I don't use Fibonacci retracement levels or ratios, right, for possible entries. I use them for targets, right? For example, here on the pound yen, right? Oof, maybe I'm going to place that order in a few minutes. Uh, on the pound yen, my targets are the 161.8 off the flag, right? So basically, when I use Fibonacci or ratios, I use them for key targets, right? Not pullbacks. But that's just me, right? So the US dollar right now, I need to see, well, this is the 2-hour chart. Let's go to the hourly chart, same level right here. I mean, buying this dip clearly is not, or doesn't have an edge, not profitable, right? Yeah, I mean, the immediate structure is bearish, even though I am bullish on the USD, right? And I am looking for buys, and this is a massive buy zone. Just have a look at this hourly candle. Um, uh, just have a look at this hourly candle. This is the zone where buyers are jumping in. The thing about going long here on the USD, of course, not on the DXY, but looking for longs on the US dollar on the markets that you trade, is that your stops would have to be very wide, right? Because you don't know if sellers are going to retest these lows or these lows, etc. That's why we need confirmation on the moves, and that's why I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting, right? I'm just waiting for the next leg up and the next confirmation, right? Right now it's too choppy, too messy, and I'm sorry, sorry guys. Uh, and yeah, on the hourly, what I would love to see is just a break of these highs, of today's highs and the weekly pivot. That will give me a short-term buy, a short-term bullish bias, and yeah, that would be very nice. Maybe later in the session, maybe New York, the New York session will bring these buyers. I don't know. Let's have a look, right? Hold on. Just give me a second. So this is where I'm standing on the USD. No trade at the moment on the US dollar. Waiting for that. Yeah, waiting for that break of the immediate bearish structure. Right. I mean, this is just a super strong move, super strong bearish move. Right. And again, looking for longs right now, or going long right now is just ill. Let's have a look at that Japanese yen. Right, the Japanese yen still trading inside of this range, and yeah, uh, possibly. Um, yeah, I'm still undecided about this one. And even though it's a pending order or it's a sell stop, I'm still undecided about this one. It's clearly a bear flag, right? It's clearly a bear flag. But still undecided. Um, yeah. Any questions? And gold almost hitting your predictions. Let's have a look at metals. Gold. So this is quite the predicament in gold. Um, yeah, quite the predicament in gold in the sense that what are you going to do with this, right? So we are approaching that key level, which is nice, right? The previous lows. And this is important, guys, because well, when I look at price action, right? When I look at price action, what I look for, or when you hear me when you hear me say key level, what I'm looking at is levels where big buyers or big sellers, it doesn't matter, right, have jumped in the past. And this is where big buyers jumped in. You can see that impulsive move was massive. Now, um, sellers took control of this market. This is the hourly. I'm just looking at the shorter time frame. right? Let's have a look at the 2 hour chart. Same fucking thing. 1 hour. Yeah, sellers to control of this market. I still wanna. I mean, the daily looks very bullish. Um, and this is the thing, right? When I have mixed signals from the three time frames that I look at, uh, normally the trade or the trade idea that I would take has a lower probability of success, right? That's why I look at three time frames, right? I mean, it's not just because I want to look at the higher time frames to see what price has been or what price has been doing. No, I mean, I like to have the same bias on the three time frames that I look at. It's not always perfect, but today or in this market, gold is looking very bullish on the daily. Now let's have a look at the forward chart. And the forward chart again, it's the same story as the hourly. Um, yeah, in the sense that after this bullish impulse, let me grab my brush again. After this bullish impulse, sellers took control of this market heavily, 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 going back to and printing a new monthly low. Now, this is important too, right? Because if you notice, this week low was um, January lows, right? This was printed on January 7th. And we're talking about from that week low to the week high, about almost a 4% move, almost a 4% rally. That was, and those gains were completely erased in what? In about 4 week or 4 days of trading. And price printed a new monthly low. So, looking at sales here, of course. Now, let's have a look at the hourly. And if we look at the hourly, again, right now, there is absolutely no setup to go short in this market. But um, this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at a possible retest of this level, right? A fake out just like this one right here, and a continuation of that impulsive bearish move, right? Right now, bears are in control of this market. Don't even pay attention to this um, indicator to the downside. But what concerns me a little bit about this possible trade is this level. So this is a massive, massive level on which if I were to take a short, I would have to take profits because the probability of price breaking with this level is lower than the probability of price bouncing from it, right? No one knows what's going to happen. You just have to see or you just have to look at historic price action, and what historic price action is telling me is that big buyers are here. Their big buyers are here. So if I were to take a short here in this market, it would be a short-term trade. But and I'm gonna go to the 50-minute chart to explain to you why I hate uh, this setup at the moment, right? The reason that I hate this setup at the moment is because if you look at the immediate structure in this market, right? I'm talking about this bullish structure, right? If I were to take a short, I would need this immediate structure to break. So, uh, right now, the break of this structure is these lows. So, as is, right, my entry would have to be below these lows. And that's why I wouldn't take this trade because one, I don't have a stop loss level. And two, if this were to be my entry, my targets are way too close to my entry, giving me a less than a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, which is something that I don't do. So, what I would be looking for is this: gold making another higher low, and then retesting. Now, if gold makes a new higher low, my validation level would be higher, and at that retest, I would get that stop loss level, giving me a good risk to reward ratio on this possible short, right? So, uh, if I were, I mean, if I'm going to take a short in gold, this is what I need. Um, this is the scenario that I need to play, that I need for to play out, right? Other than that, I'm not interested at all. But um, you have to. I mean, I am prepared, right? I am prepared. I'm looking. In fact, I'm going to flag it. I'm looking at this market. I'm looking at this market because if this, I mean, if this scenario plays out, it would be a great, great short-term trade with a nice risk to reward. I don't know what you think about this, but this is my view in gold. Even though we are looking at this possible reversal on the daily, we're still looking at this. Yeah, I mean that's the other thing. That's the other thing. The daily does not agree with my bias, but that's fine because I'm looking at a short-term trade, not a swing trade. So the 4 hour, I mean, if the 4 hour and the hourly 15 minute, align, yeah, I will take that trade, but only if gold makes a new higher low. And also, guys, also, this is, I don't know, I mean, I've been doing this for a while, and I know, I know this that a lot of people, a lot of traders are too eager to getting in on the trade, right? They're too eager and they're too impatient, right? So what happens is that normally on this occasions or on these scenarios, what happens is that, as you can see, this is a 50-minute chart, right? As you can see, price is starting to dip a little bit from the high. So people are going to get desperate, right? Rookie traders are going to start jumping in here short, and what's going to happen is that, yeah, I mean, price is going to dip a little bit, right? But then they're going to get stopped out on the stop hunt and on that fake out that I'm looking at. And this is where that new higher low would be printed, right? So that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking at. I mean, I'm not wishing for anybody to lose money, but this is clearly too soon to jump in short in gold, right? Any questions? Let's have a look at that Japanese yen. Yeah, I'm not digging too much this. I am really not digging it. I'm gonna wait for, what time is it? It's 3:49 a.m. I'm gonna wait for that hourly close, and yeah, I'm gonna wait for that hourly close, and I will decide on this possible trade later. Yeah, I mean, just because, I mean, I could place that sell stop, but that would be um undisciplined of me, right? Because it's really easy just to place pending orders and thinking, you know what, it's a pending order. It really doesn't matter if the setup is not yet complete, but that's not being disciplined. And at the end, that bites you in the ass. So I'm gonna wait for that hourly close, maybe a new hourly candle. It all depends on this, right? It all depends on it all really depends on if we break with today's low, because if you look at this, um today is, well, of course that this is just starting out, right? But today is just printing like an inside day, right? um and yeah, and if you look at the structure, I mean, from January 20th, 24th, every single daily low has been higher and higher and higher. So yeah, I'm gonna wait for that, and I will send that on the VIP group. Hey, if you wanna be part of the VIP group, and get my trades, Olympus trades, we also send to the second news. I mean, I copy paste uh, uh, to the second news and events from my news terminal, um, VIP only session, etc. There's a ton of stuff, um, free indicators, etc. only for VIPs. There's a link below this video where you can subscribe. It's only 35 pounds a month, and we price it that low because there's enough money in this market for everybody to profit. So, if you are really, really, really interested in, hearing out the way that we trade, welcome. Let's have a look at, U.S. equities. Yeah, this is the other thing. Oh, it's a gorgeous setup. I'm not gonna talk about this because this is going to be a VIP trade, right? We are going to short equities. That's awesome. Now, let's end up this session. This is going to be a short session because I don't know if you noticed, but my throat is killing me. But I'm always here for you guys. So let's talk about freaking Bitcoin. And again, just have a look at this hourly. Oh my, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, this looks awesome. Ah, this looks awesome. Let's have a look at the 50-minute chart. Oh, yeah, doesn't look that awesome on the 50-minute chart, so I'm gonna go back to the hourly. Yeah, this looks like a phenomenal short, right? What do you guys think about this? It does look like a phenomenal short. Oh boy. Again, I'm actually going to be taking this one. Oh boy, I don't know. Let's have a look at Ethereum. Yeah, same thing. All right, so basically what I'm looking at, possible shorts in Bitcoin at the retest of the 39,000. And my entry would be here. And I mean, I want to risk to reward ratio. What I don't like about this setup too much is, this would be my target, my first, no, my actual targets, What I don't like about this setup too much is this zone right here. And let me explain to you what I'm looking at, right? So what I'm looking at right here is this hourly candle, just rejecting that 39,000 level, super bearish, right? Super, super, super bearish, super fakey. Um, the daily lows are still intact, which means that shorts are not in play, right? And also, I was talking about this level right here. This is the level that I don't like because what could happen, or I mean, there is a probability that what could happen is that pricing breaks with today's lows, retests these levels, and continues right to the upside. More so because it's looking like a flat triangle. But I didn't want to say this. I didn't want to say that about the flat triangle because flat triangles are continuation patterns, and this is at the bottom of move, right? So it's not a flat triangle. But yeah, this is looking pretty nice. Pretty, pretty, pretty nice. All right. Yeah, I mean, those are my two ideas. I'm gonna tag this. I'm actually going to tag my ideas green. Blue, I'm sorry. Yeah, and the hot markets are red because they're hot. Yeah, so this is pretty nice Bitcoin, right? Let's have a look at the daily in BTC. I mean, the actual level on the daily is a little bit higher. That concerns me a little bit. That concerns me a little bit in the sense that let's have a look at the 4-hour chart. Yeah, in that sense that the the real level is around the 40,000. So, ooh, yeah. I don't know if I would take this. It's a high risk trade, and I just hate when price does not retest my key levels. Just by looking at historic data, right on my personal trades. Um, Even though, I mean, even if this trade works out, you know, on the bigger picture or sample size or whatever you want to call it, whenever I don't wait for price to retest my key level, um, I get stopped out more often than I normally would with that setup. I don't know if I made myself clear. Basically, what the same thing that we were looking at gold, right? Hasn't retested that key level yet. Um, yeah, but it's a great chart to keep an eye on, guys. You know, it's a great chart to keep an eye on. And this is also cryptocurrency, so I mean, if sellers jump in, price is just going to crash because there's so many over leveraged positions going long from the lows here um, that a small move, right, percentage wise in price is going to margin call them all, and that creates even further bearish pressure in the market. So that's on ice for the moment. Yeah. Any questions? I am going to be logging out. Thank you for joining me. And again, if you want to be part of the VIP group, the link is below this video. You have nothing to lose. I know that this is not for everybody, and I'm not. That's why I don't try. I mean, I don't push our VIP aggressively because there's so many ways to trade, that I understand if what I do or if how I see the markets, how I analyze the market, how I take trades, etc., doesn't make sense to you, that's fine. And if it doesn't make sense to you, you should be looking for somewhere that trades the way that or that trades your style. But what I do is simple. I mean, I just look at levels. I have patience. I just wait for those retests. I trade currencies in the sense. Have a look at the USD. I trade currencies in the sense that I don't go, looking for setups on the Jpy USD, on the USD CAN. Oh, blah 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 blah. Holy shit! Here it is. Now this is what I'm talking about. So I don't go looking for setups on my currency pairs, right? I look at the true currencies that I trade, which is the dollar and the Japanese yen, and I am going to be placing that pound yen right now, sending it to the VIP group. So I look at the two currencies that I trade, and if I see setup developing on that currency, I look for setups on the markets that I trade that currency with. That's just how I do things. To me, it really doesn't make sense. For example, that's why I just hate when people just type Aussie yen, for example, on the chat. I mean, what the hell are you talking about? What are you trying to trade? Are you looking to trade the Aussie? Are you looking to trade the yen? Why don't you explain me what you are thinking about? You know, Yeah, technical analysis has its merits, and as you can see, I take my interest based on technical analysis. But if you don't understand why a market is moving the way that it is, um, you are never going to have an edge. And if you don't have an edge, you're never going to make money in the long term. So, and this is where I've landed, right? I taught myself how to trade and, trial and error for years, and this is where I landed. This is what makes sense to me. And yeah, you're more than welcome to ask anything you want. I'm here. I mean, if you want me to teach you more in depth what I do, I mean, I do that twice a day, twice a week on the VAP group with the VAP only sessions. The VAP only sessions are not like this. I mean, this technical analysis, me talking about what I'm looking at, etc. The VIP sessions are more intimate, and I mean, I don't want to call them educational because I mean, I'm not a teacher, and I know I'm not sharing a PowerPoint presentation. We just have a discussion and about last time it was about trading psychology and how to manage risk, right? And based on that conversation, I'm developing a trading journal that I'm going to gift all my VIPs so they can track their trades and, start to understand how to mine the data because this is a math, I mean, this is a game about math. If anybody tells you that the price of any asset is going to be at any level in the near future, they're fucking lying to you. No one knows. No one fucking knows, right? Because this is an auction. This is an auction between buyers and sellers. And if that person is telling you this, it's because they think that they can see future auction, which is bullshit, right? And what's important to understand is that you need to find an edge to, if you're really trying to make money here, in the long term, you need to find an edge, and that the edge is what I have found it is in the numbers, right? Back testing your setups. I only trade three setups that are back tested on the markets that I trade. I know exactly the probability of success of every single one. And for example, if you remember, I was telling you about when I was looking at gold, I think that the daily chart didn't agree with the bias that I was looking at for shorts, right? Now I know that, I mean, I know that the possible setup that I explained to you on a higher low, right? It's going to have a little less probability of success than if the daily chart was also bearish, right? Um, and I know this because I mean, I've done the work, I mean, trading really is not about clicking buy and sell. That is the least that you do, and I mean, that's true. Um, Maybe not even 1% of the time you're going to be clicking buying and selling. And if you are clicking buying and selling more than 10% of the time that you're in front of your chart, you're burning, right? Trading is, understanding the markets that you trade, the setups that you trade. That's why it's important to focus on one fucking market, right? I focus on two, the US dollar and the Japanese yen, and that is it. I don't care about anything else. I do dabble in cryptocurrencies because it's fun and because opportunities like this one are profitable, right? Look at this. Look at this fucking thing. So, yeah. So, yeah, but basically, um, you know, choose a market. Understand. I mean, don't go looking for setups on the Euro GBP, on the CAD yen, or whatever. I mean, if you don't understand why those markets are moving the way that they are, you're going to get. I mean, you're going to burn money. You're not going to make money, right? Um, I mean, it's super important. This is a really, really, really hard endeavor, but it's really fun, mate. It's really fucking fun. I dig it. You know, and um, understanding global macro. It's one of the things that I do. And also, if you, we're trading currencies, right? The price of the currencies oscillates because of the monetary, not only, but because of the monetary and fiscal policies, right? And if you don't understand the implications of the decisions of central banks on the currencies, you're not going to get a bias, and if you don't, you're not going to get a correct bias, and if you don't have a correct bias, you're going to be trading against the herd, right? And that's important too. Also, for example, um, um, you know, lately we're talking about inflation. Inflation is high. Inflation is high, right? And I get asked a lot, why is the US dollar fucking rallying when inflation is high, right? Every time that inflation comes higher, the US dollar rallies. And that's the thing, you need to understand that it's not because of inflation that the US dollar is appreciating. It's because of what the Federal Reserve has to do to face inflation that the US dollar is appreciating, right? So basically, those rallies, whenever inflation comes in the language, right, on monetary policy or news or whatever, are just the market pricing in future interest rate hikes and future um, future decreasing of their asset purchasing program and much more, right? That's why the US dollar is rallying, not because of inflation, but because of what is going to happen due to high inflation. Those are the little subtleties that you need to understand if you're trading. If you want to make money trading currencies, right? And that's why I only trade the USD and the Japanese yen because, following every single fucking central bank is it's a pain in the ass, and it's too much. It's just too much, right? It's just too much. And the US dollar is king. So there you go. No, just a little rant, a little piece of advice. If you're really serious about it, right? And if you're really serious about it, just subscribe to the VIP group, and join my VIP only session. Olympio also does VIP only sessions, um, and that is on those sessions is where really, you can ask anything about anything at all. You have 1 hour of intimate, conversation with me or Olympio, and that is pretty cool, I wouldn't say invaluable button because it has a price, but we're giving it for free for our VIPs. And that is pretty cool, I think, right? And also, the cool thing about those sessions is that without noticing, you're going to be plugging leaks in your trading and just exponentially growing, as a trader. Like I said, this is not easy, but it's fun. And just take it from a guy that taught himself how to trade, and it was a fucking pain in the ass, and the learning curve was steep as fuck, you know, because I'm talking about 15 years ago, maybe more. There were no groups like this, Um, the information online was just scarce, so it was really really hard. So I had to learn the hard way, and you don't have to, right? You don't have to. So because you have um, you have this in front of you, right? If when I was starting out, I would have found this book for 35 pounds a month, mate. Oh shit! I'm telling you. life would have been a lot easier for a couple of years. Uh-huh. But again, it's up to you. I'm just saying, right? Take it from an old man. I'm not old, I'm 40, but take it. All right. Again, thank you for joining me. I'd rather listen to you thinking than printing me three numbers with TP, stop loss, and that's it. Awesome, Bernardo. Yeah, and this is the cool thing, hearing someone else's thought process um, really helps. And yeah, that's what I'm trying to do on the VIP only sessions. Making it more like a conversation, like I was saying, not just me ranting about whatever comes to my mind, right? I don't know. Maybe it's cool because I practice my English because English is not my first language, actually. But yeah, thank you for joining me again. And again, this is the reason. Let's finish up by looking at again this Bitcoin. Yeah, this is the reason that I am not. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna trade this setup. First of all, I already told you, hasn't really, uh, you know, retested those highs. Um, and just have a look at the forward chart. Right? This is an ABC. I mean, I don't trade Elliott Wave, right? But my opinion, true level that has to be retested should be around the 41,000 level. I think that we might be in for another leg up, and that's yeah, and that would be a cool thing because that would give me that again, just like gold, that amazing risk to reward ratio, right, on a possible short. So patience, and if price dips from this level and crashes, well, it's okay, man. You cannot catch every single one, every single trade, but by being disciplined and not taking this short, right, and waiting for my actual setup that I know works in long term, I will make money. Right now, my throat is killing me. Thank you again for joining me, guys. Um, and yeah, if you subscribe to the VIP group, I'll see you there. Cheers.